Sir Robert Graham Stevens was a leading English actor in the early years of Britain's Royal National Theatre. He was one of the most respected actors of his generation and was at one time regarded as the natural successor to Laurence Olivier. Early life and career. Stevens was born in Shirehampton, Bristol, Gloucestershire, in 1931. At age 18 he won a scholarship to Esme Church's Bradford Civic Theatre School, Yorkshire. His first professional engagement was with the Carol Jenner Mobile Theatre, which he followed in 1951 by a year of more challenging parts in repertory at the Royalty Theatre, Morecambe, followed by seasons of touring and at the Hippodrome, Preston. The London director Tony Richardson saw a performance at the Royalty and this led to an offer of a place in the momentous first season of English Stage Company at the Royal Court in 1956. His success was assured. His early films included A Taste of Honey, Cleopatra, and The Prime of Miss John Brodie with his then-wife Maggie Smith. There was also a minor role as Princess Callis in Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, as well as a starring role in Billy Wilder's The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes and the science fiction film The Asphyx. Stevens played Atahualpa in the original 1964 National Theatre production of The Royal Hunt of the Sun. Stevens and Maggie Smith appeared together on stage and in film, notably in The Recruiting Officer at the Old Vic and the film version of The Prime of Miss John Brodie in 1969. However, following his departure from the National Theatre in 1970 and the breakup of the marriage in 1973, he suffered a career slump, not helped by heavy drinking and a breakdown. Although he continued to work on stage, film, and television, it was not until the 1990s that he re-established himself at the forefront of his profession, when the Royal Shakespeare Company invited him to play full staff in Henry IV for director Adrian Noble, the title roles in Julius Caesar later in the year and then King Lear again for Noble. In May 1993, he was awarded the Laurence Olivier Theatre Award in 1993 for Best Actor for his performance as Falstaff. Stevens provided the voice of Aragorn in the 1981 BBC radio serialisation of The Lord of the Rings. In 1985, he directed the British premiere production of Danny and the Deep Blue Sea by John Patrick Shanley at the Gate Theatre. Personal life. Stevens was married 4 times, 1951, to Nora Ann Simmons. They had one child, Michael Stevens, and divorced 1952. 1956, to Tan Bassett. They had a daughter, Lucy Dillon, and divorced 1967. 1967, to Maggie Smith. They had 2 sons, the actors Toby Stevens and Chris Larkin, and divorced in 1974. 1995, to Belfast-born Patricia Quinn. They met in 1975, shortly after a brief relationship between Stevens and writer Antonia Fraser had ended, while acting together in Murderer in London. Death. Following years of ill health, he died on the 12th of November 1995 at the age of 64 due to complications during surgery, 11 months after having been knighted. According to his last wife Patricia Quinn, the hard work and exhaustion of playing King Lear earlier that year hastened his death. Filmography. Film Television Bibliography. Stevens, Robert Coveney, Michael. Knight Errant. Hodder and Stoughton. Stevens, Christopher. Born Brilliant, The Life of Kenneth Williams. John Murray. McFarlane, Brian. The Encyclopedia of British Film. Methuen, 2nd edition.